how you first met your wife and her family.
Oh, wow. Well, this is a funny story. I was in a band called Kingdom Come, and we were on the Monsters of Rock tour.
Yeah.
And we opened up it was like Kingdom Come, Metallica, Dokken, Scorpions, Van Halen. And we played at like 2 in the afternoon. After the show, this guy came into the dressing room going, "Dude, you guys rock, man. You were great. You were great." And I looked up and there's Tommy Lee standing there. And I go, "Tommy, wow, what are you doing here?" He goes, "Man, I want to know who produced your album." So he goes, and after about 5 minutes, he goes, "Dude, you know what, man? You probably really like my sister." I go, "What? This is kind of odd." So he invited me down to Gazzarri's down on Sunset Strip. And I got there and met me at the door, and I went up and actually met the parents. I met his parents and Athena's parents before I met Athena. So then he took me back and introduced me to Athena, and then the rest of the city is rock and roll history.
So what's your relationship do you have with Tommy?
You know, we get together like all families. We have holidays together. A couple weeks ago we had a nice softball game where it's his team against my team, and we have fun. You know, we hang out, we do the things. You know.
Wow. So James, we know a very interesting thing about you. You bake bread, yes?
Yes, I bake bread.
You bake bread. Maybe you can give us some recipe. Wow.
Well,
please.
I generally just put a bunch of whole wheat flour into the bread machine.
Yeah.
It's a bread machine.
Yeah.
It does all the work. I just make basic bread. Really, the machine does it all. But I like to cook a lot. I cook at home all the time. I'm really good with stir fry and Asian dishes. Of course, vegetarian.
Yeah.
And you know, we eat very little, very rarely chicken, but we do tons of fish. Do lots of Greek salads, of course.
Well, your family is I know your family is a drummer family, yes? All of you are drummers. You have a drummer family. How can you just get on with each other?
Well,
All
I mean,
the
it's pretty
drummers.
easy. I mean, we're just drummers, and of course, I'm a drummer, Athena, Tommy, and then now our 17-year-old son is a drummer, and he's like phenomenal. He's in a band called Blackout 101, and you know, they're young and up and coming, and I'm telling you, he's just phenomenal. He's just great.
I mean that all the drummers, everything, it's just, how can it doesn't interrupt something, how can you get on with each other? I mean, when you are, for example, practicing.
Well, we don't really sit around the house playing drums all day. We have a drum set, of course, but I mean, I seldomly play at home. I'm always playing, and we have a rehearsal room.
Yeah,
and,
of course.
You know, so.
So before we end, I want to ask you a question. Just you've been working with a lot of musicians, with lots of musicians, yeah?
Yeah.
Can you say the style of which you impressed maybe the most or the best? Which style of playing?
I mean, you know, I love playing all styles, but I really love playing hard rock with the Scorpions.
Yeah.
This has been I mean, I've played with so many different people coming through all the years. I loved Kingdom Come. That was a great band. And I really enjoyed playing with a bass player named Jeff Pilson. He and I have done many records together.
Yeah.
He's one of my favorite musicians in the world. And there's so many. If I had an opportunity, I'd like to play with Slash. He's great too.
Yeah. How can you, for example, you're at the tour with Cotton.
Right.
In Scorpions. How can you just, mix it to feel comfortable?
You know, it's very difficult to do both, but I manage because that's what I do is do rock and roll. And, you know, when I'm not doing Scorpions, you know, I'll go home and have maybe a couple, 3 days of just chilling out, and then I'm like, okay, I've got to do something. And then we're doing Kotak, and the other way around. I'll do Kotak for a few weeks, and then I have a few days where, okay, it's time to go do Scorpions, and then we're just like fired up, ready to go.
Yeah. And what can you say me about maybe some prospects visit Russia as Jimmy Ratchet in Russia?
I would love to. I spoke to a Russian promoter about bringing Kotak over, but it's just a matter of having enough time to do it. You know, maybe once Scorpions slows down, Kotak comes up.
Yeah, maybe. And how can James Kotak describe the world rock and roll? The word rock and roll for you.
The world of rock and roll?
Yeah, the world of rock and roll, and the word rock and roll.
It's as Rudolf Schenker would say, it really is a lifestyle. We live it. It's the first thing I think of when I wake up. Of course, after my wife and kids, and then it's the last thing I think of before I go to bed. I'm dreaming about it usually, and it's just a lot of fun.
It's just a heartbeat of your soul.
Exactly.
Yeah, soundtrack of your life.
Exactly. You could say.
Yeah. So, thank you very much for the interview. And then I have Ilona has 3 questions for you.
Перед концертом.
How can you warm up before the show?
How do I warm up?
Yeah.
Well, I do a lot of stretching, like yoga style stretching. I'm just doing a lot of stretching because stretching is so important. I warm up my voice. I'm usually singing in the dressing room, and I sit there with the sticks. Nothing really special, just average stuff.
Okay. Кто твой любимый актер? What is your favorite actor?
Wow. You know, I really like what's his name? John Cusack.
Oh,
He's
John
great.
Cusack.
And I really, when I was younger, I really liked those Back to the Future movies.
Oh yeah, of course.
I don't know why. And, you know,
Назад в будущее. Thanks for the interview.
you're totally welcome.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you.
I'll see you. And rock and roll forever.
Yeah.